People keep asking if Dricus Du Plessis is the man to stop the wolf. They say he's awkward, unbreakable, and dangerous. But here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. Khamzat is about to make Dricus look easy. Not because Dricus is a bad fighter, far from it, but because Khamzat is on a completely different level of chaos. And come UFC 319, he's not walking into that cage to win. He's walking in to destroy. If you still think Khamzat is hype, you haven't been paying attention. At UFC 308, he faced former middleweight champion Robert Whittaker, a man who's outclassed legends, gone to war with Yoel Romero, and traded blows with Israel Adesanya. But against Khamzat, he didn't even make it out of the first round. In less than 4 minutes, Khamzat choked him out. Face crank, submission, dominance. It wasn't a close fight. It wasn't even competitive. It was an execution. This wasn't just a big win, it was a signal. Khamzat had made the leap from prospect to monster, from hype to horror. He wasn't just fighting contenders anymore, he was butchering them. And with that win, Khamzat made one thing clear. The real king of the middleweight division was already here. All that was left was the belt. Let's not pretend Dricus Du Plessis is some easy walk in the park. He's awkward. He's relentless. He breaks people with pace and pressure. He ran through Robert Whittaker and pieced up Derek Brunson like it was nothing. When he fought Sean Strickland, he went 5 hard rounds in one of the bloodiest title fights in recent memory. That's not luck. That's real grit. But here's the thing. Dricus is hittable. He's slow. His striking is loopy, wide, and telegraphed. He throws with power, yes, but he also leaves himself open again and again. He relies on chin and cardio to get through exchanges. Against someone like Khamzat? That's not a game plan. That's a death sentence. Khamzat doesn't give you time to warm up. He doesn't let you build momentum. He comes forward with a storm that doesn't end until you're on your back, flattened, and wondering how it all happened so fast. And Dricus? He's never fought anyone with this kind of pressure. Never. Here's what separates Khamzat from almost every other middleweight. He's not just a striker, and he's not just a grappler. He's a hybrid, a relentless, violent mix of both. His wrestling is world-class. He doesn't take you down. He drives through you like a wrecking ball. Look at what he did to Li Jingliang, a strong welterweight with knockout power and solid takedown defense. Khamzat picked him up, carried him across the cage like a toy, and slammed him down while staring at Dana White. It wasn't just control, it was domination. It was a warning. When he fought Kevin Holland, it was the same thing. Immediate takedown. Zero hesitation. Zero respect. Khamzat didn't give Holland a single moment to breathe. Just pressure, smothering control, and a first-round submission. Now ask yourself this. When has Dricus ever dealt with that? Has he ever been forced to scramble against someone who can chain wrestle for 5 straight minutes? He hasn't, because there is no one else like Khamzat. A lot of fans still act like Khamzat's only dangerous on the ground, like he's a one-dimensional grappler. But that's not just outdated, it's delusional. When he faced Gerald Meerschaert, Khamzat knocked him out with one punch. One clean shot, 15 seconds, no setup, no warm-up. Just walk in, touch him, and collapse his whole body. His striking is clean, fast, and deadly. He doesn't throw wide. He throws sharp, straight, and with serious snap. Against someone like Dricus, who throws hooks from his hips and drops his hands mid-combo, that's a problem, a huge problem. One of the most tired arguments against Khamzat is the idea that he gasses out, that he fades after 1 round, that once the storm ends, you can start picking him apart. But let's look at the facts. When he fought Kamaru Usman on short notice at middleweight, he went the full 3 rounds, and he didn't break. He didn't collapse. He won, convincingly. He also admitted afterward that he had a hand injury and still pushed through. That's not bad cardio. That's fight IQ and grit. It shows that Khamzat can push through adversity and keep attacking. And since then, he's doubled down. Training in Dubai with elite athletes, he's focused on conditioning and pacing. Dricus slows down too. We saw it in the later rounds against Strickland. He gets sloppy, wide, and slower. So when both men are tired, the question isn't who has more left. It's who has the better skill set. And if one guy has the wrestling advantage? The cardio edge barely matters. When you break down Dricus' style, one thing becomes obvious fast. He's flat-footed. He plants his feet wide, walks forward in straight lines, and relies on pressure more than angles. That's worked for him. So far. But against Khamzat? It's a dream matchup for Khamzat. Flat-footed opponents are easier to time, easier to shoot on, and easier to pin to the cage. Khamzat doesn't need space, he just needs momentum. And Dricus' base gives him all the tools to start the takedown chain instantly. Once Khamzat gets in deep, and he will, Dricus won't be able to sprawl out like he did against slower opponents. He won't be able to hand fight, scramble, and escape. Because this isn't Brunson or Till. This is Khamzat. Some fighters lose before they even get hit. That's what Khamzat does to people. He doesn't just attack physically, he breaks people mentally. The moment he steps into the octagon, you can see it. The intensity, the energy. He's pacing, snarling, breathing like a predator. Most fighters try to feel their way into a fight. Khamzat tries to end it before it even starts. Dricus has never faced someone this intense. Not in training, not in the cage, not in his whole career. And that kind of psychological warfare can make even the best fighters second-guess their game plan. If Dricus starts reacting to Khamzat instead of fighting back with confidence, it's already over. You don't get a second chance when a wolf is hunting you. So, how does this fight really go down? Simple. Bell rings. Khamzat closes the distance immediately. Dricus throws something wild. Khamzat slips, shoots, and drives him to the mat. And once they hit the floor, it's all over. Ground and pound, elbows, positional control. Dricus tries to scramble. Khamzat takes the back, sinks in a choke. Or maybe he just smashes from mount until the ref pulls him off. This won't be a war. It won't be a back and forth. It'll be a warning. The moment Khamzat gets his hands on Dricus, this fight becomes a one-man show. People can pretend this fight is even. They can pretend that Dricus is built different. But deep down, every fighter in that division knows the truth. Khamzat is coming, and he's not coming to win a belt. He's coming to take souls. If UFC 319 plays out the way it should, it might be the last time we talk about Dricus as a champion. Because when Khamzat enters the cage, you're not just fighting a man, you're fighting a storm. And storms don't negotiate. Let us know in the comments who you guys think will win. Would appreciate if you guys can hit the like button and subscribe. This is All Day MMA, and thanks for watching.